Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics. And so over the past few years, as well as looking ahead at the dreadful things that Brexit and a Trump presidency were going to bring, we've sometimes taken our mind off things by, looking in our rearview mirror rather than looking ahead at the abyss and seeing how we got here. And Cambridge Analytica looms large in the mirror for both events. Numerous things link the disgraced group with both Brexit and Trump campaigns, and they've been emerging since 2017, but there's now been a spectacular release of documents proving formal links between Cambridge Analytica and Leave.eu, as well as the Vote Leave groups in the UK. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So this is quite timely for me personally. I had a weird comment on the channel, it was in the last week or so, from someone raging at me for continuing to expose the links between Cambridge Analytica and Brexit. Take it back, they said. You were lying. It's been admitted. It was all a lie. It's all come out. It's all come out. Has it? Has it really? Because, the documentary evidence, including photographic evidence of key players in all of the relevant organisations speaking today on the same, on the same panels, the same people being involved in all the different organisations. I mean, the same person owning both of the key organisations, for goodness sake. I mean, the documentary evidence was quite impressive. The same person, like I say, Robert Mercer, who basically owned both Cambridge Analytica and Aggregate IQ, which was the one most directly involved with the Brexit campaigns in this country. It was the same person in charge of them. But, some would try to point out, well, you can have two separate companies, completely separate, nothing between them. Yeah, even when they do the same thing? Okay, yeah, whatever. But now we have legal documents. So there's been a spectacular release of documents in the last few days, which should be plastered all over the national media in both the UK and the US. It doesn't seem to be. And what it has turned up, amongst other things, is a services agreement between Cambridge Analytica and Aggregate IQ with Donald Trump's presidential campaign, named as the service client. 700 pages of legal documents from Cambridge Analytica has been released by Brittany Kaiser, who some of you may know as the former executive who turned whistleblower. You will certainly know of her if you've watched The Great Hack on Netflix. And if you haven't, look, the fact that you're watching this video means you really need to do that. And I mean, you really need to watch that. This document joins AIQ and Cambridge Analytica together. Okay, so those not following this carefully will now say, okay, we can see the document linking Cambridge Analytica to Trump. That's proven, sure, okay. But how does that link it to Brexit? Because, yeah, sure, Trump met with and supported the leaders of both campaigns, Nigel Farage and Aaron Banks of Leave.eu, Boris Johnson, Michael Gove of Vote Leave. Where's the direct link here between Cambridge Analytica and Brexit? So during the investigation into law breaking on the part of Vote Leave, first of all, in this country. So this is the group that was the official Leave campaign, and it was run by Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, Dominic Raab and Priti Patel, as well as a few others. The people who are now running our government. The investigation focused on large sums of money, and I mean large sums of money, being funneled into Aggregate IQ for targeted political advertising. Now, as we know, this targeted political advertising took the form of stealing Facebook data, identifying people whose views could be moulded, and bombarding them with fabrications about whatever was identified as being hot button issues for them, all leading to the conclusion that the only way to stop them from being mad was to vote for Brexit. Vote Brexit and all these things that make you mad will go away. And the most intense period of that targeted political advertising took place in the few days leading up to the referendum. So AIQ was found to have broken privacy laws in its work with Vote Leave regarding its misuse of personal data. So that has been proven. That's a matter of record in the UK. Even at the time, we knew that AIQ was linked to Cambridge Analytica, but people insisted that, for the Brexit and the Trump campaigns, they weren't working together. Okay, they have worked together, but for this, they weren't working together, even though they seem to use exactly the same tactics. AIQ kept insisting that they were a completely separate entity to Cambridge Analytica. And Vote Leave spent the bulk of their money with AIQ. So Jeff Sylvester, who is Aggregate IQ's, or was at the time anyway, a couple of years ago, Aggregate IQ's chief operating officer, was hauled before Parliament, and he said, Aggregate IQ is a completely separate company. We have no other legal or corporate connection to them, referring to Cambridge Analytica's parent company, SCL, other than the contract work that we have done for them. Now, this legal document that has now been released shows that Aggregate IQ and Cambridge Analytica are operating as one from a legal point of view. It's a partnership. It says right there in the header of this legal service document. Anyone trying to deny that Cambridge Analytica were directly involved in the Brexit campaign has now been shot down hard. The evidence was already too strong to be dismissed anyway, but this one document alone, it's not just an overwhelming amount of evidence, it's just straight up proof. It's the proof. For anyone who wants to see the data dump for themselves, there is a link in the description below. You're welcome to trawl through it. But what this means now is that there is absolutely no doubt, because if anyone tries to deny it now, you just link them this, you just go, look at that. There wasn't any serious doubt before. But, the Brexit campaign illegally used stolen data, stolen personal data, to target people with lies in order to vote for the clown show that we are experiencing right now. It was all built on this theft, as well as misuse of the data that was stolen. This should provide really even more impetus for criminal investigations to take place. We know that Vote Leave and Leave.eu, whose links are also contained in this new data dump, broke the law over the Brexit campaign. We know that. That's a matter of fact. Vote Leave tried to appeal it. They dropped their appeal. It should have led to a criminal investigation to find the people responsible as well, because criminal acts had been committed. So what's supposed to happen is once you've found out that an organisation has broken the law, you're then supposed to launch a criminal investigation to find out, okay, so who are the individuals who broke the law? Because then we need to pursue criminal charges against those. Unsurprisingly, given that the people involved are now running the government, that hasn't really happened. But the focus, as I said, should be on Vote Leave rather than just Leave.eu. There are also references in this new data dump to Leave.eu. They are less important. Vote Leave were the people who now run our government. The people who ran Leave.eu don't really leave, they don't have any control over anything in this country anymore. They should still be pursued, of course. They broke the law and caused a lot of damage. But they are not currently running the government. And the only person ever convicted over any of this was a chap called Darren Grimes, who, if you don't know, is a right-wing commentator and general nutcase. But even his conviction was overturned, not on the basis that he hadn't done anything wrong, but on the basis that he was too stupid to understand what he was doing. Because right now, people who stole our personal data to deliver the most damaging event in British history are in the driving seat of our country and its immediate future. And for people who may be imagining, well, this will just be Dominic Cummings, won't it? So let's say you are sort of on the side of Conservative MPs, but you don't like Dominic Cummings. I mean, you're in good company there. A lot of Conservative MPs do not like him at all. And you're in amongst that crowd, interested, well, this will be Dominic Cummings. Obviously, Johnson and Gove, that lot, wouldn't have known anything about this. The MPs involved were just there for the speeches. They were the political impetus for it. No. One of the documents specifically names Michael Gove as the client for services during the Brexit campaign as well. Perhaps the best that we can hope for is that the government is finally defeated in the next general election, because there is now, let's face facts, zero chance of a serious independent inquiry or serious criminal investigation whilst this government holds power. So maybe at the next general election, if we can get a different government, then the calls for a full public inquiry, along with criminal investigations, will not be blocked. We'll have to see. I suppose that's probably at the moment the best we can hope for. But absolutely click on the link I've given in the description below, download it. Maybe you will find something of interest, because this has only really just come out. I'm quite sure people poring over it will find the odd little nugget as well over the next week or so. But there it is. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. If you'd like to support the channel further, please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.